I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay, great. So today's topic is finding your why in the dark. Very interesting topic. The power of looking backward. Actually, the importance of the power of looking backward we are going to discuss in detail. The author of the book, Simon Sinek, achieved the ultimate dream by starting his own business. For the first 3 years, he beat the odds and succeeded through sheer energy and passion. But by his fourth year, the novelty wore off and his energy completely vanished. He felt like a total failure, slipped into depression, and became highly paranoid. No matter what logical business advice he received, he simply could not fix his mindset. It was only when he stopped looking forward and looked backward at his life that he found the cure. So, author is quoting about his own experience, how he reversed the direction, and the reflection basically says that only we need to reflect the past. From the past happenings, we will learn a lot so that our present and future can be taken care. The same thing also happened with him, and when he did that, he realized his deepest passion had always been to inspire others. His business was failing because he had forgotten why he started it. Your life's purpose is not invented in a boardroom. It is discovered by looking deeply into the past. To move forward with unstoppable momentum, you must first pull backward into your own history. Wow. The three key insights. The first one, the arrow metaphor. An arrow only gains power when it is pulled backward. And here actually we see this arrow is able to pierce through the stone wall because it has immense potential and momentum that's been fed with backward momentum. So key finding is success without fulfillment is definitely not going to work in long run. Despite having logical business advice and resources, energy vanished, leading to a state of paranoid, depression, and feeling like a fraud. This is what actually Simon Sinek felt. The second key insight from today's reading is the value of the dark. Something hitting rock bottom is the only thing that forces us to reevaluate our deepest motivations. And generally, we tend to remember this particular lifelong learning that, and especially when someone hits the rock bottom, that is the position that position is also important, wherein actually a lot of life lessons are waiting to be learned by re-evaluating our deepest uh, why, and if that is derailed. So that is what actually the author is saying, the value of the dark. The value of the dark is, so yeah, so someone can start from the childhood days also, revisit the childhood joy, how passionate we were, how enthusiastic we were. The discovery process is looking into the dark and action steps. Analyze the dark moment. Use painful or rock bottom moments to force a revolution of what truly matters to us. One example actually is given here, connecting the dots. By looking at your somehow it is so small. By looking at your thras moment of joyful memories, you can find the diamond of your life passion. I think diamond. Example, Simon Sinek's passion was in inspiring others, which he forgotten only till he look back and deeply reflect. The third key insight is discovery is not invention. Here, in this process of discovering why it is called discovery but not invention, because we cannot brainstorm our life's purpose. It is already inside us, waiting to be discovered. It is already there. So we just need to uncover and discover. But we cannot reinvent. If we are trying to reinvent the wheel, then the ultimate loop of dissatisfaction might again stuck, and after moving forward, we might actually feel really depressed or distressed. Now, the deep reflection question for today is, what is a painful or dark moment in your past that actually forced you to discover what truly matters to you? So today we will be kind of going back to our past and understand or reflect which of the painful moment we had, and that moment author is calling as dark moment, and what actually forced us to, or what actually we could discover during that time or at present, and we understood that is really a valuable lesson, that really truly matters to us. Second reflective question is if you look back at your childhood, what is a recurring theme of joy that you have lost touch with today? If you look back at your childhood, what is a recurring theme of joy that you have lost touch with today? Action step for today is take out a piece of paper today and write down the 3 most joyful memories of your life. Look for the common thread between them to help discover your own why. This is also a very nice way of discovering our own why. Take out a piece of paper today and write down the 3 most joyful memories of your life. So the joyful memories are revolving around our purpose of life or why of life. If it is aligned, then we get true joy. And when we look for the common thread between them, we will be getting enough help to get discovered our own why. It will exactly point out to the why, or it will definitely guide us to the why of our life. Today's quote is finding why is a process of discovery, not invention. The interpretation of this quote is stop trying to create a perfectly marketable version of yourself. Your greatest power comes from accepting the beliefs that you have been, from the beliefs that have been inside you all along. It's already there. We just need to uncover and discover.
Yeah, because this, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this week I read one article by Carl Jung. He's a well-known this thing, philosopher and psychological work. Yeah, so he in his statement also he mentioned the same thing. Like find out your why, or the purpose of your life or passion of life in your childhood. That where the time you spend really joyful, where you don't know how time just flies by doing that work. Somewhere there you will find your purpose. So if your career and your what you do day to day is linked to that, then it is a massive this thing. So try to search there where you get in your childhood or joyful moments. That is where your purpose lies. That is what the indications. And yeah, his work is around that one. Yes, yeah, yeah. So good, it relates to this topic. Yeah.
Exactly. Very much aligned with today's topic.
Yeah, and his work, like Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung or Jung, they are well known philosophers in like last 100 years era. And what I found very fascinating about their work or this thing, like their research and everything comes from the experience. So some of the things cannot directly prove scientifically, but the amount of experience these two like philosophers put there in their work, and they come up with the kind of techniques to you, is really really amazing, because his work is also on on the dreams as well. What kind of dreams you're coming up with, or the patients they handle throughout their life and their experience and all that. He formed a really strong relationship between those dreams, your childhood moments, to the success and happiness which you are drawing for the daily actions. So I love the way that connection, and again these books also talks about that. So yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yes, very nice. So let's move to the next agenda, next session.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is about the alternative path. Let me reshare the other infographics. Where is it? This one. I hope my screen is visible with the new infographics.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So let's uncover what is that alternative path. Ron Budder was a highly successful real estate developer. One day, while waiting at a crosswalk with his daughter, the light flashed, "Do not walk." He asked them how they knew the sign was not telling them to run. He was teaching them his core belief. What is it? There is always an alternative path if you choose to look for it. If you choose to look for it, then only there is an alternative path, otherwise not. But used this exact same belief to solve a massive global issue. After September 11, he realized that many young people in the Middle East turned to radicalism simply because they felt they had no other future. Berder left real estate and founded the Education for Employment Foundation. He went to continue like Yemen and Jordan, to teach youth new skills, showing them a hopeful alternative path. Your true purpose is not tied to your job title. When you know your why, it can be used to change the entire world. Wow. He had changed his business because he understood maybe the alternative path is always there. It is never too late. And it also served a social cause. So the satisfaction will be a double bonus. The key insight number one is the universal truth. Your life purpose is completely independent of your current career or industry. Your life purpose is completely independent of your current career or industry. It can be similar also, it can be aligned also. And second is finding the alternative. True leaders refuse to accept the standard rules. They always search for a more inspiring way forward. I believe it from its core. I have a habit of saying no to the conventional rules and conventional methods, even though that actually draws attention of the leaders and they sometimes do not agree to change because change is always painful and change has some unknown consequence also. But when we try to evaluate the alternative, then only we'll be able to understand whether it is good or not. So the true leaders refuse to accept the standard rules. They always search for a more inspiring way forward. This is the key insight number 2. Third key insight of the day is a life of impact. When you truly live out your purpose, when you truly live out your purpose, you transition from simply managing a career to leading a global movement. Simply, so earlier he was simply managing a career. Then, when he understood the alternative path is there, which is aligned also to his core, then he just switched, and that led to a global movement. The reflective question for today, number 1, is if your entire industry disappeared tomorrow, how would you still bring your core passion to life in a totally new way? If the entire industry is disappearing tomorrow, then how would you still bring your core passion into life in a totally new way? Because we have to rediscover the entire wheel. Second reflective question is, as we conclude this 30 session journey, what is the single most powerful shift in perspective you have gained about your own why? So today actually this is the last session, the 30-day session that we have planned. This is
Or
the
why? Yeah.
30th session, and we need to reflect what is the single most powerful shift in perspective you have gained about your own why. And this is certainly tomorrow we will be doing a quick recap of the entire book.
Yeah.
But officially we have concluded and completed the book. We start with why.
Awesome. Because you done recording for all the sessions, yeah, this time?
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. And yeah, have you started putting that on LinkedIn? Because it is a good source actually.
I wanted to, but I am just, I have a vacation plan actually. I'm going for a
Okay.
retreat from 5th to 11th. So I'm thinking whether to start on
After
1st
that.
of August or after I return, I will start in post continuously. I'm just
Because
thinking.
my idea is, as I mentioned to you, I was not that active on LinkedIn, but I will get active once you do that. I will do the reposting with some comment. In that way, I will get again retouch, reconnect with those sessions. 15-minute session or 30-minute session, and
Okay.
get
Then
yeah.
then that inspires me also. That
Yeah,
would be
and I'll share the link. No 30 sessions on NLP and beyond. What are the groups I belong to? I will share there. On daily basis, just to people that know that yes, the content, because the whole sessions, all 30 sessions, the slides etc. came so well, and basically again you spend so much of good time on this one. We spend again time, so why not get that material stuff to the people.
Yes,
We will do that. We'll do that. Yeah, awesome slides.
exactly. I thought the same. So let me not wait then till 11th. That will be too much injustice to the time.
Yeah.
If there is really required, and I cannot use the mobile in the retreat because it's a
Yeah.
silent spiritual retreat, then I would be continuing after 11th, after 10th, in fact, not 11th.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I will try to draft in such a way that everything is ready, and I simply say post on those days. If it works,
Yeah.
then it will be really
That's
great.
fine. There's no pressure kind of thing, but because
Yeah.
that is what I always think. Like book reading is one part, okay, summary is one part, and this presentation creation is one part. Now currently you and me, we are doing this for last 30 days or so for this one. So but these many means whenever I talk to people in different groups, especially in NLP and all that, yes, they desire this stuff material, they really like this material, but they are not connecting with you somehow, or they are not reaching to us somehow. So just bridging that gap, and you
Yes,
already
yes.
done that work, so why not? So my idea is, just to connect those dots and getting more and more people to this reading sessions. Then it is
Definitely.
more, it will reach to more people because it is a nice content, something everyone's required. And I raised that in another group as well, like, since the people there are all educated, they are actually directors of the company, and big roles they are playing, but they don't, means, they are not aware that this type of, like, these sessions are happening, or this material is available, and they are still struggle with the basic definitions which we already sorted in our group, like, what do you mean by thoughts, what do you mean by thinking, what are emotions, what are feelings, and what is why, those small questions. Those questions are still unanswered for them, so I'm just connecting the dot. And it's good to connect with all those people, because somehow they are struggling in their life, because of the different challenges, career wise or relationship wise and all that, and we are reading those type of books here, so just bringing them here. Yeah, so that's the whole idea. Good to.
That's a, that's
Yeah.
certainly a great idea. And
Yeah.
maybe when you post also, post one per day, one link, so that people will not feel overwhelmed, and they will also kind of
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that would
So
be
I'm
the
just
real.
using your this thing on, instead of showing my group or this thing and all that. I'm directly sharing your stuff, your group, your YouTube channel, because the work is already done. It's already there.
Yes,
So there is no point me to generate as exactly the same thing, creating some separate summary and all that. The work is already there. More is, as we discussing for last week, is more on implementation. Okay, whatever the support everyone required or I required, why not get together and discuss on those topics? Like I shared some of my career questions with you and Rameshji last time,
yeah,
because those
right.
are those are the practical challenges. Those are this thing, because in one way, yes, you want comfort in your life, you want to build your dreams, you achieve those dreams, but then still it needs to link and align with why, and there we need sometime the discussions with the people, like-minded people, that's the whole idea of this group and coming together. Yeah, you're right.
Very true. Great then.
Cheers.
So
Yeah.
we will be kind of meeting tomorrow to
Yeah,
summarize.
and we'll do the summary. Yeah.
Yeah, one action step actually I thought of sharing.
Uh-huh.
So when we are doing this reflection of the uh, entire 30 days, and then if whatever why comes actually, we need not to actually think whether this why that we are deriving at the at present might or might not align with our true purpose. But if we keep thinking that okay, one day I will be able to do and find out the best matching why, that day will never come. So whatever it comes, what we need to do is just write down that why statement in a very simple and straightforward manner, in a simple sentence, maybe in a sticky note, and tap it to your bathroom mirror or computer mirror, or
Yeah.
where actually we do our day-to-day work. And when we read and see it again and again, automatically we will align to that seamlessly, or we will understand that this is not the right way, and maybe I need to further uncover and rediscover. So out of these two, one thing will definitely happen. So
Yeah.
let's do it,
Yeah.
because it is implementation sessions again. So we will find out something, some why, whatever is now evident to us, we will find out and put it in a sticky note. And best is to stick near to where we work, means in our
Yeah.
home office, or yeah. So this is what the action step for today.
Yeah.
Great.
Cheers. Thank you.